Everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so new comic book haul. Today's haul is brought to you by Camo Black Extra, 12.2% alcohol, ultra premium. I used to drink this a few years back, but I had to stop just because, yeah, 12.2% alcohol, But anyway, whatever reason, I just saw it on the way home from the comic book store and la di da. Um, but be very careful with that stuff, okay? Can't chug it, You end up chugging it, have a couple. Next thing you know, you're on the other side of town with an empty wallet and new friends. Okay, so before I show you the new comics, I wanted to talk about a couple of comics I read last week. I'll try to make it quick because I don't want the video to be too long. But I did want to talk about um, uh, Odyssey of the Amazons #2. I've really been enjoying this comic book so far. Basically, the story is it's a prequel to the Wonder Woman story. This takes place years before everything, whatever, 1,000 years ago or whatever. And it's basically the story of the Amazons going across the world to find other women to join their cause, and they're looking for especially gifted people. In this issue, we have the Amazons fighting against frost giants and meeting up with Vikings and things. And I just really think, of course, some Amazons get captured. They team up with the Vikings. They try to come up with a plan or a best course of action. And yeah, I just really love the approach here. One thing you do have, I think I mentioned this in another video, they're really um, dealing, I shouldn't say dealing like it's something that had to be dealt with, but they're really kind of showcasing women of color in this comic. Again, I think I mentioned before, women of color have kind of been in Wonder Woman comic books in the past, but here it seems like they get the focus, and of course there's white women in it as well. I think it's a pretty funny or interesting thing where they go to the Viking village, and the women there are kind of in more kind of domestic roles, and the leader of the Amazons has a talk with the guy who's the leader of the um, Vikings, and they kind of talk about how things are a little bit different, how the roles are a little bit different between their two tribes or their two cultures, but it's done in a way where neither is made to look, bad or anything like that. The Amazons don't shame the Vikings. The Vikings don't necessarily shame the Amazons or anything like that. And I think it's really interesting, again, too, how they're kind of blending these completely different mythologies as well. So the only criticism I would have is in some places the art's a little bit hard to make out. You have to kind of like really look at it and figure out what's going on. But for the most part, I'm really enjoying it. Uh, Gamora #3. I'm gonna drop this comic. I don't think it's a bad comic at all. It just feels like a very professionally done comic. Decent writing, decent art. Um, but I read it, and as soon as it's over, I almost forget what's happened. It's just like it happens, and I just don't care. It's just for whatever reason it's not grabbing me. I don't feel engaged in the storyline or anything, so I'm gonna kind of let this comic go. Okay, and the other one I really wanted to mention is Wildstorm #1. Warren Ellis doing an alternative take of the old Wildstorm characters. Uh, Wildcats, the Authority, and Deathblow is in this. And yeah, I really enjoyed the kind of reimagining of these characters. Basically, we are in we're in current times, and but it's kind of suggested that people with superpowers and whatnot are kind of a new thing, and in this world, incidents are happening and things are popping up, and IO, which is internal investigations, or I can't remember right now, has this covert team they're trying to assemble to deal with these strange happenings and whatnot. And some people seem to have powers, and we don't really know why, and they don't know why, and some people don't. And it's very much kind of high concept uh, espionage blended with science fiction so far. And yeah, I like it. I think I saw a glimpse of an interview where Warren Ellis said that he is going to introduce a different version of Midnighter and Apollo in this series. Um, so, so I'm really interested to see what his take on those characters are. You know what I mean? Seeing as he created the original versions that are now part of the mainstream DC universe. But yeah, so yeah, I'm hooked. First issue, really intriguing, interesting setup and everything. So, hmm all right, so on to the new comics. Cheers. Alrighty, I have here Blue Beetle number 6. Well, kind of enjoying it. It scratches a weird kind of itch for me, just that kind of old fashioned tights and fights vibe. It's not a perfect comic book, but it's got me interested enough to want to pick up the not the new 52 version, but maybe the previous version, which I kind of ignored when it came out. But basically, I like all the stuff going on with the Blue Beetle, with his family, with his mom, who's this kind of doctor who takes care of these other paranormal people, and there's the stuff with Jaime's friends and his high school friends and stuff, and just the kind of back and forth, the banter. We have kind of zany superhero, supervillain fights, a lot of humor. So yeah, it's like I said, it's not a perfect comic book. It's not breaking new ground or whatever, but it's enjoyable for what it is. Green Arrow number 13 and number 14. So yeah, superheroes and social justice. I read issue 12 and I liked it, so I thought I'd continue with this arc. Like I said, I'm way behind on Green Arrow. It's up to issue 16, I think, 16 or 17. But um, but yeah, I'll give it a shot. Super Sons number 1. I hadn't planned on picking this up, but I saw so many other people talking about it in their videos and saying how much they liked it. So I'll give it a shot. It looks kind of fun and spunky, and you kind of have the whole kind of cartoony thing going on there. But I do like the idea that it is focusing on the different parenting styles of the Superman family versus Batman and whatnot. So yeah. Rebirth Justice League of America number 1. I went back and forth on whether or not I should continue with this issue. I liked the first issue well enough. It was basically the getting the band together issue. But it's kind of time to start making hard choices about how many comics you can actually buy in a month. And I did like the art and everything. I'm not so sure about Batman's reasoning for putting together, this team, but it doesn't matter. What really made me pick it up was flipping through it and seeing these guys. I'm pretty sure these guys are supposed to be the extremists, and the extremists are basically DC Comics parody of Marvel supervillains. So, like over at Marvel, you have the Squadron Supreme, who are a parody of the Justice League. In the Justice League comics, uh, they keep changing the name, the Heroes of Angor or the Justifiers, who are parody of the Avengers, and the extremists are, a parody of those, Marvel supervillains like Doc Ock and Magneto and uh, Doctor Doom and stuff like that. So I'll give it a shot just for shits and giggles. All right. Also got Captain Marvel #2, Black Panther #11. This is the end of the first arc by Ta-Nehisi Coates, the whole revolution thing, the return of the Black Panther's sister Shuri, and the whole idea of they're probably going to change the government of Wakanda. For so long, the government has been this monarchy that was decided by, trials of combat and stuff like that, and now it seems like the regular people, some people are being mind controlled to, of course, rebel against the Black Panther. Other people aren't. They just have very legitimate concerns about, how the country's being run. So this is the kind of this is basically the climax of that big story. I think there's one more issue that's supposed to be the epilogue, so I may get that. But and I may talk about this some more. I don't know. The whole overall run. I don't know if I want to do a video on that or not. But okay. Scarlet Witch #15. This is the last issue. I thought it was. Well, I haven't read the last issue, but so far it's been an interesting run. Flipping through this one, I don't think I like the art, but that's okay. I thought it was, like I said in some other video, is an interesting experiment. The idea was these kind of one and done stories, and each issue had a completely different artist, and they all kind of stood on their own. But after a while, they kind of connected to a bigger story with Wanda dealing with her family and her past and la di da di da. So okay, every issue by David Asha has had a great cover, though. I will say that. Spider Woman 16. We are getting to the conclusion of this series as well. I think the next issue might be the last issue. We're dealing with Spider Woman, and she's trying to Spider Woman. Excuse me, the new Hobgoblin, a bunch of B-list supervillains, and she's trying to find out why these guys have attacked Roger, who was the former Porcupine, who was a bad guy, kind of reformed, kind of became her sidekick slash babysitter or whatever. And it looks like maybe they've kind of started to grow a little bit closer together. But yeah, and I've really enjoyed it. I really have to commend Dennis Hopeless and Veronica Fish as well. But I really have to commend them for doing the exact opposite of what I thought they were going to do. When I first heard that, okay, we're going to have a new Spider-Woman comic and Spider-Woman's going to be pregnant, I totally thought it was going to be like, okay, there's going to be a zany plot twist or whatever. It's either going to be a demon baby or it's going to be fake out, or even if it's a real baby, maybe she's a surrogate or whatever. I didn't really think that they were going to do like the single mom thing that they did. But yeah, they did it, and I bought into it. I really appreciated how they handled that subject. So kudos for that. And I also have here Frostbite #6. This is the conclusion of this miniseries. Kind of science fiction story set in a new ice age. Not the best thing in the world, but pretty decent. It kind of made me feel like, you know what, this could actually make a pretty decent, action adventure movie if it was ever done in live action. Astro City #41, which is actually the 100th single issue of Astro City, if you add up the various mini-series and the last series and everything like that. So, looking forward to reading this. Divinity 3, the Stalinverse, an alternative world story or alternative universe story where featuring the Valiant heroes, where the idea is Soviet Russia has taken over the world. So, and there's this whole thing where a couple of characters remember how the world is supposed to be, and it's a case of kind of waking up the other heroes or waking up the most powerful hero and trying to, I guess, reverse time or fix things or whatever. So, really nice art by Trevor Hart. I don't know how to say his name. Hersign. This guy right here. Okay. Uh, Loose Ends #2. Southern Gothic crime story to go along with Southern Bastards, I guess. I've got Southern Bastards. I still haven't gotten around to like sitting down and making myself read it yet. But yeah, I read the first issue to this intriguing setup. So okay. And Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses, #21. Looks like we're back to the present day plot. So I will have fun reading this again. All right. So that's it. I got to thank everybody very much for watching. And you guys all have a great day.